The next generation are millennials. Millennials were born between 1981 and 2000. Always be careful of those demographic years, especially around millennials, because there's a number of trains of thought as to where they land. But the important thing is the word. The word is what defines the generation. And for millennials, the word is impact. Millennials want impact, and they want it now. They have this amazing DNA that is across the generation where they truly want to change the world. And they want to change it now. They want to have impact and have it now. When I'm working with millennials and I'm trying to get them to go in the direction I want to go, I have to show them how doing that can change the world, because that's what translates to them. Now, here's what's interesting. Millennials are now the largest generation in the workplace and the largest generation on the planet. The cohort of boomers, mortality has caught them. They're shrinking. Millennials are growing. So we are going to be very dependent upon millennials and millennial influence, regardless of whether you're in the generation or outside the generation. So it's very important to know that word of impact. Now, where does that come from? Let me give you the image. Let's just go video game to start out with. The video games millennials grew up playing are very different than the ones I grew up as Gen X playing. In fact, none of their games really is based on points. So here's what's interesting. You would think maybe a football game or a basketball game would be about points, but really it's about controlling the story, having impact on the story right now. You see, I can play Madden football and make any player I want play for any team I want, because I control the story. Every technology in millennials' world allows them to impact the story, to change the world. They have that control. They can be the writer, the editor, the producer, the on-screen talent. They can do all of those things based on the technology that they have at their disposal. So impact is very critical. And these images are very critical of the technology they have. Now, the connection point. Simply ask any millennial in your life, how do you see changing the world? And how can I help? That simple two-part question allows you to connect to them in ways nobody else can. How do you see changing the world, and how can I help? Cuts through everything and allows you to connect to millennials immediately. Now, one big asterisk by that. You have to give them permission not to know the answer to that question the moment you ask it. If they need time to think about that, give them the time. But if it is within your power to help them change the world the way they see it, you need to do it. This generation is large and is going to dominate and dictate a lot in the workplace. So it's very important you understand that impact and having that impact now is critical to their success. So how can you help millennials move forward? That's Millennials.